Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Welcome at the evening with Merciful Jesus. Michael, with the song, reminded us who really gathers us here. Why did we come here? It is His holy place. This is His holy house, home. It all belongs to Him, and we are His. And we came here to spend this evening with Jesus, with the merciful Jesus, also in a special presence of two of his great children, our brother and our sister, Saint Faustina and Saint John Paul II. This is the first meeting. That makes it very special, and that makes me very nervous. So, forgive me if I will be shaken sometimes, in words or even in my body, hopefully not. We want to have a short talk at the beginning of our meeting. Maybe this will be kind of an inspiration for us, but also I would like it to be as an introduction to our future meetings. So every meeting, every 22nd here, will be a step further, following the same history, following the same spiritual experience, which is the experience of the Divine Mercy. The title of this talk, the very first talk, is Amazing Story. Why amazing story? When you look at your life, it would be very good if you could say the same. My life is an amazing story. But truly believing in it, not because you should say so because we are in the United States and everything here is amazing. No, my life is truly amazing. I wake up in the morning and I say, what an amazing story. A new day. God, thank you. Another amazing day. Which not necessarily means that an easy day, but amazing. What makes our life really amazing is this beautiful friendship with Him. Merciful Jesus. And I wanted I've chosen two quotations, one of John Paul II, one of Saint Faustina, to be the main thoughts for this meeting of this evening. John Paul II, he used to say, do not be satisfied with mediocrity. Put out into the deep. And I remember as a young girl, so many times I've heard it. Do not be afraid. Do not be satisfied with mediocrity. Put out into the deep. I didn't actually know what does it mean, like this is like a beautiful poetic metaphor. Yes, surely he's not encouraging me to buy a boat and to go fishing. But I felt that this is something great he's inviting me to do. Something great. Saint Faustina, when she was 7, and she entered a church, and there was the Blessed Sacrament exposed, like we will have shortly, the exposition here. Being 7, in front of the Blessed Sacrament, she felt that her life is going to be an amazing story. That God invites her to put out into the deep. The 7-year-old girl, she didn't actually know what's behind this. But she remembered this experience, and that stayed deeply in her heart, shaping her future. She desired this deep ocean, to go into this ocean somehow. To let Him make an amazing story out of my life. And when she was already in the convent, when she was already having all these amazing mystical experiences, seeing God, hearing his voice, receiving this mission to go to the whole world with his mercy, and still going through many hardships. It wasn't, like in Poland, we would say, like on smooth as on a butter, He gives me mission, I simply do it, and everyone claps hands saying, congratulations. No, many hardships. And she says, among all these hardships, and still believing in the mission that Jesus gives her, and believing that it's worthy to fight for this friendship with him, she says, I have directed my flight at the very center of the sun's heat, and nothing can lower its course. So we have the image of the ocean, deep ocean, and the invitation, go there, go into the deep. Do not be afraid. Do not be satisfied sitting at the shore and looking how beautiful the ocean is. No, just go there. And then we have the other image of the amazingly huge sky and the huge sun on it, hot sun. And Faustina, who feels like a bird with wings that she can fly, like I'm ready to do it. And she wants to fly straight into the sun's heat. She knows it's worthy to take the risk. Because no, it's not entering the airplane and the best airline, maybe Lufthansa or maybe American Airlines, no. It's flying without any security, you would say. Have you ever imagined that you fly? I did. Many times I had these dreams that I fly. And it feels amazing. But that's just an image to show that there's something more than this that we stick to, this earthly life, that it consumes so much of our attention, our energy, our time, to take care of the daily things. They are important, but not so important as we treat them many times. Go into the deep. Fly high into the sky, into the sun's heat. And now, what does it mean in practical way? In the practice of our everyday life? It means only trust Jesus. Let him guide you. Helena Kowalska, future Saint Sister Faustina. She's a very simple, ordinary girl. No one would put much attention to her. She doesn't look especially. She's born in a simple village where there are no prospects for the future. She barely finishes 3 grades of primary school. We all here have better education, higher education than Saint Sister Faustina. And I wonder if any one of us will write a book which will be as popular as her diary. So almost no education, no special prospects for life, but she's a person with a beautiful heart, someone sensitive to God and other people, and someone full of amazement with life. Life which is my daily time spent with God. And it starts already in her early ages. I told you, she's 7, she's in the church, and she feels that God invites her for a great adventure. She doesn't actually know what will it be, but the invitation she hears and she accepts. Then she's being 17 and later 18 years old, and she asks her parents for permission to let her go into the deep, high, straight into the sun's heat. She asks them, "Let me go to the convent. I want to give my life totally to God. Please let me do it." And her beautiful parents, very religious family, with 10 children, she's one of 10, they say, "No." Helena is very obedient. Parents say no, she takes it as a will of God. She says, maybe, this experience at 7, maybe it's not this what I think now. Maybe it's not the convent. But her heart, is burning with love to Jesus. But no, maybe I'm mistaken, maybe there's another way. My parents say no, that's it. And then when she's 19, Jesus enters the history and says, "How long will you keep putting me off? And how long shall I wait for you?" This is the first revelation future Saint Faustina has. Helena Kowalska is on a party. She is on a dance floor. Music plays, she's dancing with a boy. "Sister, what are you saying in the church? You shouldn't say such things." She was actually there. She was on a party, she was dancing. She had a pink dress, not a black habit yet. Pink dress, beautiful red hair. And her first revelation is on a party. That's also good to know. In the future, also, her revelations will take place in all the possible places, not only in the church, not only in the chapel. Living with Jesus in our everyday life makes everything holy. Every moment is holy. And he speaks to us in every moment, in every place, through every situation. And there are no places without him. Only if we kick him out, then, in a way, he makes a step back. But if you invite him to go with you on a party, he will go. Maybe he won't talk to you like he did to Sister Faustina, but who knows? You never know. You gotta be open to everything. So when he said to her, "How long will you keep putting me off, and how long shall I wait for you?" Then she understood immediately, okay, into the deep, straight into the sun's heat, I go. And then she went to enter the congregation, enter the convent. What happened in the convent, how the history continued, I will now tell you shortly, just in a few sentences, because we will have the future months for it, to go step by step. Simply, for that moment, I want you to see Faustina as a friend of Jesus, someone who lives her daily life with him and listens carefully what he wants from me. Where should I put the next step? What should be my next move? She said once that, "Lord, I won't make a single move without consulting with you." How often do we ask Jesus, "What do you want me to do?" Jesus chooses her first to be his beloved one, to be with him, to love him, and so that he could also show his love to her in a special way. That's number one. But there's also the second, important thing, he gives her a mission. And that mission is something they both do for us. So it's like in every love. If there's a man and a woman, husband and a wife, they love each other, and that's number one. But then come the consequences of their love, so their children. And then they offer their lives and do everything for the children. So it happened with Faustina and Jesus. She became like totally united with Jesus, with every day of her life, more and more united with him. So his desires were her desires, his dreams, her dreams. And his dream is to have us all in heaven, to make us happy now and happy then. Amazing story from the day of our birth till eternity. This is what he wants from us. Full life. Life in full, to the full. How do you say it? I don't know. But you know what I mean. And so Helena offers her life totally for that one mission. Everything for the souls, everything for the sinners, everything for those who are in danger of losing salvation, of losing heaven, everything for those who lost hope, everything for them. And Jesus gives her this very special mission. He says, write the diary, and in the diary write everything I will tell you. And she writes about the image. She writes about the Feast of Mercy. She writes about the chaplet. She writes about the hour of mercy. And on every page she writes about words which are encouragement for us. Words which are a powerful reminder about God's love. And words which are supposed to help us to trust God. To make our life an amazing story. But Jesus gave her all this huge mission for the whole humanity. He says, I'm sending you to the whole humanity with my mercy. And this poor girl couldn't do it. She didn't understand this part of their dialogue, you know. He says, I'm sending you to the whole humanity with my mercy. But he doesn't say, how will it be possible? And she doesn't know how. So every day she keeps on doing what she understands that she should do, and really doesn't understand how this desire of Jesus will be accomplished, fulfilled. She doesn't get it. And then she dies, not fulfilling the mission. She's just 33 years old. And the diary she wrote is full of desires of Jesus, and maybe one or two are fulfilled, nothing more, and she dies. She could die in despair, saying, I didn't do it. You know, this anxiety, my goodness. You know, time is finishing, like the time of my talk. It's getting to the end, and I didn't do it. I didn't tell them everything I was supposed to do. But Faustina doesn't have this anxiety. She sees beyond the moment of death. She says, I feel that my mission will continue. And she even understood that there will be more people in her mission than just this poor little sister. Because she wasn't tall. She was very small, actually. And so Faustina dies, and Karol Wojtyła appears. She dies in 1938. And 1938, this is the year when young Karol Wojtyła moves to Krakow. Faustina dies in Krakow, and a few months before she died, Karol Wojtyła, together with her father, they moved to Krakow. So a few months, they lived together in one city. Faustina is already very sick, in the bed, probably not moving much. And young Karol Wojtyła, full of life, comes to Krakow to start the university, to study there. And so physically, they never met. They could, but they never met. Though there is a vision in Faustina's diary that tells us that, okay, she saw him. She saw him in her vision. We will talk about it later. And so she dies, and he takes over the mission. First, totally unaware of what's happening. So many things in our lives happen like that. You don't know why things happen. They just happen. You are a part of something, and you don't see where will it lead you. You don't see the final moment. You don't see the destination yet. You don't have to. What Jesus asks you to do is to trust him now in this history of your life that you probably don't understand. Just trust me. I'm in control. And there is a very special destination for your history. So Karol Wojtyła starts living in Krakow, and then very soon the Second World War begins. You say, begin. Yeah. Huge drama, terrible, it's even hard to express with words using adjectives. What was it? What happened during Second World War? Every war is horrible. And what amazes me is that God uses the drama. God uses this time of Second World War to start the Divine Mercy mission with John Paul II, future John Paul II, present young Karol Wojtyła. Because of the times of the war, he needs to start to work in the salt mines, not salt mines, in the soda factory, which is a hill next to the hill where is our convent, where is the Shrine of Divine Mercy. And every day, on his way to work, he walks through the chapel where Sister Faustina used to pray, where she received many revelations, and where he can pray in front of the miraculous image of merciful Jesus. Not knowing yet what's happening. He doesn't know the source of the image. He doesn't know about the revelations Faustina had. He just goes to work, and on his way to work, stops in the chapel for a prayer. Later on, during his last visit in Krakow, in the Shrine of Divine Mercy, when he consecrated this big basilica, if you've been to Krakow, you know it, or maybe even without going to Krakow, you know it from pictures, this big white church. John Paul consecrated in 2002. That was his last pilgrimage to his homeland. And then after the beautiful homily, just like he used to do, he had some words extra, to the people. And he started sharing his memories, telling about the time of Nazi occupation. And as he worked in the factory, he needed to wear wooden shoes, to protect his feet. So every day, he used to come to the shrine in these wooden shoes, and he started to recall these moments, saying, how was it possible to imagine that one day the man with the wooden shoes would consecrate the Basilica of the Divine Mercy in Krakow? At that moment, he was just a simple worker doing his job, trusting Jesus that this difficult time, the Second World War, difficult time for Poland, for the whole world, in his own history, that God can use it for something great, and he did. And all John Paul did was just trustingly accept it the challenge which is every day. And again, God made an amazing story out of his life, only because he followed him. John Paul didn't do anything special to become the Pope. He just followed his vocation. He did what was in the plans of God from the very beginning, from the moment of creation of the world. Have you ever thought about it, that you were in his plans at the very moment of creation of the world, that he thought about you, that he had already an idea for your life then, and that there's a very special mission for you in this great work of salvation. That one day, looking back at your life, you will see it. How God used every single moment of your life if you only cooperated with him. How he used it for saving souls, for making amazing things in the world, in the hearts of others. You know, sometimes we think about great things, and we neglect, we don't put attention to the daily things which actually create the amazing story. Faustina used to say that she sees that her every gesture, every word has an impact on others. Do we put attention to every gesture? Oh, we could get crazy if we would. So maybe I'm not encouraging you, to focus so much on every gesture you do, but simply spending your life with Jesus. Having that goal of beautiful friendship and union with Jesus will make every gesture of yours with this holy impact. So whatever you will do will have a very good influence on others. Even your sleep will be used by God to make an amazing story, not only out of your life, but also of the lives of others. Do not be satisfied with mediocrity. Put out into the deep. I have directed my flight at the very center of the sun's heat, and nothing can lower its course. Let him guide you. Stay in peace, even if you don't understand the moment of your life which you are in today. Entrust him all of that. And maybe this evening for you is for that very purpose. To put your life again into his merciful hands and tell him, I trust in you. I want it to be your way, the best way.